Hello, and today we're doing my lazy feral ghoul build. It's not perfect, but hey, it's a guide. We are literally, where are we at? So, it's 3:30 on a Sunday. So we are 9 days, 2.5 hours away from the September the 2nd update. So this build will be sort of based on the new cards coming rather than they are now, which is why I have some obvious cards missing and some not so obvious cards in there. So on the distribution there, so 10 in strength, 9 perception, 5 endurance, 9 in charisma, 10 intelligence, 7 agility, and 6 in luck. Legendary cards. I am maxed out on strength, intelligence, agility, luck, endurance, and perception. And let's look at the cards and go through them. So even though a totally and utterly feral ghoul is all about the melee, I also wanted to have a look at what long-range weapons would actually work with a ghoul that can't aim in VATS for Scheisse. So we'll have a look at those. So, because we will be using some long-range weapons, we have Scattershot. So 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs in your target. Does not say ranged weapons, so hopefully that will work with ranged and melee. Ordnance Express, we will be carrying some explosive weapons, so we need to make that explosive ammo way less. Incisor, your melee and unarmed weapons ignore 75% of your target's armor. I think that is the only one of the old school melee cards I'm using. Arms Keeper, as I said, we will be carrying some weapons. Radioactive Strength, expend a moderate amount of glow to deal 150 more damage with power attacks and bashing. That I do believe is changing and will not be working with the minigun shredder. Sorry, shredder's not on this build. Bone Shatterer, your melee weapons attack have 75% limb damage. Number Cruncher, your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. We're not using this in VATS, so make your weapons as AP inefficient as possible, and that will make more damage because their AP cost is high. Tormentor, you deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. That works nicely with Bone Shatterer. Center Masochist, because we're not aiming, who knows where the bullets are going to be hitting. So 75% range damage when attacking the torso. We may well be hitting the torso. We might be hitting limbs. We might be hitting the weak spot. Who knows? But might as well give ourselves an extra bonus if we do hit the torso. It is the biggest bit after all. Reflector, gain energy resistance based on your perception. As you see, perception's quite high. Your explosives detonate with twice the radius. That works with the Tesla rifle to make the Tesla arc that little bit bigger. And we do have a Tesla rifle with a hidden explosive effect. Rad Reaver, dealing non-automatic melee damage, provides a small amount of glow. So if you're pinching them or pinching would work, I suppose. Punching or whacking them with a sword or a hammer or something, Not the auto melee weapons, the non-auto melee weapons. Gives us more glow, and more glow helps with that one. Ironclad. Armour provides 25% more protection, double if wearing a matching set. So just wear a matching set of armour and you have twice the protection. Adamantium skeleton. Apparently ghouls are made out of tissue and their bones break so easily. So you're going to want that one. Fireproof. Ghouls, they might be radiation proof, but you can still set them on fire. Thick skin. You take 10% less damage from ballistic attacks, no power armor. So outside of power armor, that card is king. We'll go back through these in a little while and look at which spare cards I have and what I recommend. Charisma. Gain damage and energy resistance based on your charisma and number of teammates. Well, as a ghoul pretty much has no charisma, that card is boosted by the amount of teammates. So as long as you want a team of 4, that card is worth it. If you don't have enough points, just get rid of that card, save yourself a point. Strange in numbers. Positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. Well, very few people play Fallout and not mutated, so that card's worth having. Tenderize. Each attack makes your target take increased damage. If you're all about increasing your damage, which let's face it, most of us are, that card's worth having. Feral Presence. While feral, reduce your target's damage output by 30% after you attack for 5 seconds. Well, this is a feral ghoul build, so yeah. And United Ordeal. Whilst in a team with other ghouls, you gain 3 to all special stats. There are a few ghouls out there. If you're on a team and they are full health, it's 50-50 they're ghoul or not. Just go into your Pip-Boy and double check to make sure you got extra specials based on that card. Makeshift Warrior. We will be using melee weapons, so melee weapons break 80% slower. Science. Increased energy damage based on your intelligence. Well, we've got pretty much full intelligence there. Plus, of course, if there's another ghoul playing with us, we've got extra 3 to those specials as well. So we will be using energy weapons, so we are going to be using that science card. Pyrotechnician. Increase fire damage based on your intelligence. We will be using a flamethrower. Now, as I said, with ghouls, the VATS is pretty much non-existent. Flame weapons can be used without VATS. Just pray and spray. So yeah, fire. Worth it. Use it. Battles included. We are using energy weapons, so energy ammo weighs less. Gunsmith, we are using weapons, so guns break 50% slower. And Science Monster, while you have glow, gain 15% bonus damage for 10 seconds upon getting hit. Hopefully we'll keep our glow a-glowing. Action Boy, even though we're not using VATS, we will be using chainsaws and auto melee weapons. Not 100% necessary to have Action Boy. You can swap it out for something else, but for now I've got it in there. Gorilla, you do 20% range damage to close enemies. We're not using VATS, so the closer they are, the better. Adrenaline, gain 10% damage per kill whilst on a kill streak. We are going to be killing stuff. Goat legs, take no damage from falling. You can swap that out for any of the cards you see down there. We'll cover those in a few minutes. That's just so I can jump off high stuff. Action Ghoul, the power of glow makes your AP regenerate 45% faster. So that's another action generation card. As I said, you can swap either of those out for stuff below. And over in legendary perks, we have Bloody Mess. 15 burning damage, meaning enemies explode in gory paste. When that turns into its new status in 9 days' time, that is bleed weapons increase, blah blah blah. This is a melee build, so that card will still be useful. We are using Thorn Armor, which does cause bleed, so yes. Ricochet. Gain a chance to deflect range attacks based on luck. Class Freak. Negative effects of your mutations are reduced. I do have a lot of mutations. Battle Genes. Gain 4 HP per second whilst in combat. Yes, please. And Faulty Spots. Weak point damage is decreased. Once again, we are going to be shooting weapons that might be hitting the torso, might be hitting limbs, and most definitely might be hitting weak spots. We can also use VATS whilst using our melee weapons. VATS might not work with ranged weapons, but VATS most definitely works with melee weapons. So we need that. Though in VATS, on melee weapons, you can't target specific areas, but out of VATS, you can aim for the head, or wherever the weak spot is. It's an extra 15% damage, and we're a ghoul, might as well use it. These are some of the spare cards I have, which you can swap out accordingly. Plus, I do have other builds on this character. These are some of the non-Feral Ghoul cards that you can be using. And open agility. These are some of the good ones to have. Good if you're going to be using your non-Feral build in using the Onslaught stacks. Over intelligence, some of the cards you might be wanting to flick out. Armor for fixing stuff. Demo expert. For instance, I could, when I'm using my weapons, especially my hidden explosive version of my Tesla, I can shift out Makeshift Warrior and stick in my Demo Expert. It's good to swap some cards around. This is sort of a lazy build, so you don't want to be swapping too many cards. Just taking it easy. Some of the stuff you can be using there. Rad Sponge will be changing soon. Swapping out Suppressor for like Friendly Fire. You can swap that out for United Ordeal, especially if you want something where you've got to keep the NPCs alive. Use Friendly Fire, use a Flamethrower, keep the NPCs alive. This is one I like to swap over on Endurance. It's good to keep your glow at 100%. Eating dirty irradiated food makes your glow that much quicker. So just swap thick skin for glowing gut. Eat your food, stick thick skin back on when your glow's back to 100%. Number cruncher, there are all different options in here for your different creatures. Tank killer, that's going to be for all guns soon. So you can think maybe remove Center Masochist and stick in a tank killer, for instance. Let's do that now. Then that's all weapons. Doesn't matter about the torso so much. Whatever suits your playstyle, really. And quite a few of these cards have already changed. Arms of Steel, not much use if you have literally 0 VATS presence. But yeah, so there are the cards which I will be using. I did mention the fact that we're going to be using a semi-explosive. We're going to be using a semi-explosive Tesla rifle, which doesn't need VATS. So I'm just going to pop on the Demo Expert for now. And when you go back to melee weapons, you can just swap out your gunsmith for your melee card. And if you really want to make your auto melee weapons, like your chainsaws and your auto axes, you can also stick on stabilized tools as well. So you have double the effect of keeping your weapons non-breaky. So this is the effect I was on about with the stomach. So for instance, if I pop over to Toxic Goo, pop one, you get one section filled. If I just pop out Thick Skin, pop in Glowing Gut, take a Toxic Goo now, there you go. That is the difference of that one card. And as soon as you've eaten, pop it out, stick on your Thick Skin, that's it. Now because we're a feral ghoul, we don't have to take the non-feral medicine all the time, and we're not affected by food or water. That's why this is a lazy build. You don't have to bother about chemicals, and you don't have to bother about food or water. Going to pop on a team. That one's already full. There you go, we're on a team now. So if any of our team are ghouls themselves, Quad Carnage might be a ghoul, Dragon 18 most definitely isn't, and Nidak or whatever that is, and then 3Dak is definitely not a ghoul. Right, here we have my, I've done a video on this before. This is my Tesla rifle with an explosive effect. So if we pop back up here, we've got the Grenadier to extend the electrical arcs and make the explosions bigger. We've got our Tank Killer that will make the armor penetration or armor ignoring better. And we have the Demo Expert to make those explosions better. And let's show you what that does. Let's just do a quick travel to Westtech. Okay, here we are at Westtech. And you'll see the potentially explosive effect. Before I start killing anything, let's show you what it's got. So this is my Quad Tesla rifle. It is 300% ammo capacity. It has limb damage. It's got 15% faster reload speed. And on the 4th star, when crippling limbs, they explode and deal up to 50 explosion damage to nearby targets. That does include you. And I've increased that explosive damage using Demo Expert, and I've increased the damage radius using the Grenadier. So as I said, we were Ghoul. You can't be using VATS. There you go. And you've pretty much killed everything around. And just to remind you of the synergy there, deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. So we've got a gun that does crippling, and we've got 20% more damage when they have a crippled limb. And then over here, 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs. So they're going to be getting crippled limbs left, right and centre. And with that one shot, we took down 2. So not only are they getting the arc, yeah, and this is without using VATS. Let's see how far we will go. Just a little tickle and they're down. And he's crippled. And he's dead. That is the power of this weapon. And the bigger they are and the slower they die, the more I can cripple various limbs and any other appendages that they have. The more limbs and appendages they have crippled, the more damage I'm doing to them. Now, I've shown you this before in another video, but I like it so much. Hopefully, let's travel over to the White Springs Golf Club. So here we are outside the White Spring Golf Club. And the total beauty of this gun, thank you very much. The total beauty of this gun, as long as no one hasn't been here before, will show. Good. Let's do a quick dash, wake everyone up. Hello. Wakey. Follow. Oof, hello. Oh, and a glowing one as well. Follow me. Stand at the door and watch this chaos. I did warn you that the damage would get you as well. Right, anyone tell me you can't have an explosive Tesla rifle? I think, yeah. As long as you put the effort in, you can have an explosive Tesla rifle. And there was your proof. But it's not an explosive Tesla rifle. It's a Tesla rifle with exploding effect. Someone pulled me up and said, that's not an exploding Tesla rifle. No, it's not an exploding Tesla rifle. It's a Tesla rifle with exploding effect. What other weapons shall we be using then? So we got the obvious melee weapons, because after all this is a melee character. For instance, the Medic's Gamma Gun. Brilliant for running those cows around. The Shenandoah Park. Because as you know, being a ghoul, every time you shoot it, you're irradiating yourself. And if you are also shooting your pack Brahmin, you are healing the pack Brahmin whilst healing yourself. It's like a vampire's, but so much better, because vampires only heals you. But you're not really wanting to heal yourself, you want to give yourself radiation, because that's what heals you. So don't have a vampire's medic's gamma gun. Have the medic's gamma gun. Sorry, that made no sense. But have the medic's gamma gun. You can heal other players and you can heal yourself. And then, of course, the medic's thirst zapper. It's unlimited ammo. That heals your pack Brahmin brilliantly. Yep, various weapons, but we want to see what other long-range weapons are good. Go. So this is a holy fire. Other flamethrowers are available. It's just this is the best one to have. Beast of Burden is where you get your holy fire. It's one of those few named legendary weapons that actually lets you change the legendary effect. For this one I've got a 2-shot. Not sure how well 2-shot's going to be working on the next patch. But aristocrats or mutants will give you 50% flat damage increase. So if 2-shot's not working for you, you've also got what? Junkies as well. Blooded if you're a blooded build, but if you're a feral ghoul, you ain't going to be blooded. Nuke launcher, brilliant. Who needs to aim? Nuke launcher, another 2-shot weapon. Just spray and pray. Just cause carnage, especially something like eviction notice or God, that's going to get banged. Eviction notice, or when you're fighting the ghouls over in, I can't remember the name of the event right now, but right over here in Emmett's Mountain Disposal. Nuke launcher, brilliant. Any 2-shot launcher. Twice the coverage, twice the spray. What else have we got? That's it for the weapons I'm using now. Warning, if you are going to use 2-shot weapons whilst as a feral ghoul, the cone of fire is so much larger. So if you're going to use 2-shot weapons, not good on the big weapons. Stick to the single bullet weapons. So if you're going to be using any of the wind-up weapons, like, let's have a think, the minigun or Tesla rifle, Tesla minigun, use the single shot one. So once again, junkies or mutant or aristocrat. If you have a 2-shot, it already separates the bullets quite a lot. Then if you're feral, it separates the bullets again. You will be shooting and literally hitting nothing. Great for mass disposal of mass creatures, but when you get down to those last few, even aiming, you get quite a decent spread on the cone. Right then, this is what we've been waiting for. The very point of a feral ghoul. Let's fly over to... We've just killed all the ghouls off over at Westec. Let's go see if Huntsville has any super mutants left to fight even. Okay, it's going to take a little while because of the froggies. I'll edit the video and meet you there. Right, here we are. So this is the plasma cutter, and we've got on the shocking blade. So this is the closest you're going to get to a lightsaber. So now we can use that. Boom. One shot. See ya. Bye. And then out of knockbacks. One shot. It makes you so powerful. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hit 100. Bye-bye. Crippled. Bye-bye. Now I believe... And of course, we are using a classic melee weapon. So every time I hit a super mutie, it's like having a vampire's weapon that's just so more powerful. Hello? We missed someone. There you go. Watch this. So we're at halfway. Still at halfway, after being hit twice. It's like having a vampire's weapon. But of course, being a ghoul, we've got a double energy bar. Bye-bye. Awesome. Yeah. It's just brilliant. And now, the pièce de la résistance. Oh, that's nice. That was a free travel point. So, just... Oh, hello, and we've got radiation weather as well. Now, I'm going to pop on some armour. Oopsie. I'm being attacked. Excuse me. Oh, oh no. Wrong weapon. That's not what I thought I was going to... I almost killed myself there. So I've gotten rid of all of my glow. But no worries. Right, so... Sorry. I need my... So this is my Vulcan non-VATS. So the Vulcan armour that doesn't have any of the VATS stuff on it. But what it will hopefully have is the arms that allow me to use the Furious. Now this is a Furious melee weapon. Furious doesn't really work with melee at all, but what it is good with is the auto axe. So we've got damage per onslaught stack, 40% power damage, 3 strength, and plus 10 damage per onslaught stack, plus 10 stacks. Hell yeah, so that's pounders. So let me just bring back up the weapon, which I almost just killed myself with, and let's pray the Queen can come out to play. Hello! Have I accidentally just killed the Queen? No! I thought I killed the Queen there by accident. Okay, are you ready in seconds to count the Queen going down? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bye bye, Queen. Yeah. In short, if you want a melee character with the option of also having the ability to use ranged weapons, you can't go much further wrong with this build. Hope you've liked this video. Please leave a comment if you have any improvements or any other ideas that are positive. Granted, a negative is always a positive, but only if it's a constructive negative. If you like the video, please stick a like. Comments help other people see this video as it gets recommended via the old whatever YouTube does. But yeah, thank you if you have watched all the way through. I have been Nomadic Moth, and this has been my lazy ghoul build. Oh no, my lazy feral ghoul build. Right, I'm off to edit the video and pop it out later. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.